Hello everyone. So we should begin now. Hare Krishna. I am Kautukastu. I am a member of Transformations Student Club of ISC Bangalore. And I welcome you all to day 3 of our 18-day Gita reading series. So it's wonderful to see all of you here devoting your valuable time, gaining wisdom that truly lasts. But before we begin today's discussion, let's briefly uh, focus on what we learned yesterday. So yesterday we explored the powerful idea that suffering is optional, but only for those who are self-controlled and free from false identification. We learn that we are not the body, but the conscious self. The real strength lies in the self control and steady performance of duty without letting disturb your peace. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt stressed, anxious, or disappointed, not because of the work itself, but because of worry about the results of your work? If yes, please raise your hand or type yes in the chat window, or you can give up a thumbs up. Yeah, Santosh felt, Kaushik felt, even I felt. So, yeah, Dharma Niranjan felt as well, and others. So, you are not alone. Even sometimes I also feel the same. So, today we'll move into the chapter 3, and the theme for today's session is Karma Yoga, the art of working. In Bhagavad Gita Chapter 3, Lord Sri Krishna explains that spiritual life does not mean giving up all actions. Instead, the Lord teaches how to work without becoming entangled, how to act responsibly while remaining inwardly free. Karma Yoga is not about being careless or indifferent to results. Today's session will help us understand how right action, guided by wisdom, can purify the mind, strengthen character, and lead us toward lasting fulfillment. So, are you ready to begin the today's session? Please give a thumbs up in the chat. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. So, with that intention, it is my great pleasure to invite our esteemed speaker of the series, Sri Vigrah Das Prabhu from ISKCON Bangalore. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Yeah.
Shall we begin?
Yes, Prabhu, please guide us.
So let's begin with prayers. Please join me. The prayers will be displayed on the screen. You can chant along with me. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Oh my
Hare
God,
Rama
extremely
Rama
beautiful.
Rama Hare Hare.
Morning, dear.
So we are going to discuss about chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita today. The chapter 3 is called as Karma Yoga. Yoga means connection with the divine. In fact, every chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is called yoga. So, the entire uh, text of Bhagavad Gita is meant to guide the soul, us, to connect to the Supreme Soul. And this process is called yoga. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita is also known as Yoga Shastra, the scripture which enables us to connect with the Supreme Lord. So, Karma Yoga means, Karma means our actions. Karma Yoga means how to act in such a way that our actions become a pathway to connect ourselves with the divine. That is called Karma Yoga. Through your actions, you can connect with the Lord. and that is the perfection of your ability to act. That is what is described here in the third chapter. So, quickly, let us see three important points that I had planned to discuss from this chapter. So, the first point is running away from responsibility doesn't bring peace, right action brings peace. Arjuna was thinking that this is a ghastly affair. I have to be on the battlefield, shoot arrows at my own relatives, and especially I have to fight against Bhishma, who is my grandfather, who is very dear to me, who has always been loving and caring for me. I also have to shoot arrows at my dear teacher, Dronacharya, who has taught me this art of warfare, and I have been his favorite student. So, this kind of duty that I'm supposed to do on the battlefield, it is not very comfortable. It is very, very difficult to do this kind of a duty of fighting against my own near and dear ones. So he thought, better let me give up this duty. Let me give up this responsibility of having to fight. He thought, by doing so, I can attain peace of mind. Right? Many a times, when there is a work which demands a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, and especially when there are things which are disturbing, we generally think that let me give up this work itself, and that's how I can attain peace of mind. Arjuna was also thinking like that. But this chapter, in the third chapter, Krishna is telling that no, if you run away from your responsibility, it's not going to bring you peace. It may give you some temporary, some kind of a comfort, but it's not going to give you real peace. For example, if you apply this for a student, let's say there is a student who is supposed to prepare for an exam, it's an important exam, but due to the fear of failure, he does not even think about exam. Forget about preparing about the exam. He is in a in the mood of escaping the exam. So he thinks that let me not think about the exam, let me not prepare about it. So he takes out his smartphone and starts spending time watching reels, scrolling, on his smartphone or playing some games. So finally, the exam day still comes. Just because he has stopped thinking about the exam, the reality won't change. Exam day came, and because of not preparing, his he thought that I have been enjoying scrolling and watching Insta reels, right? He thought that I've escaped the problem called exam. I've escaped the discomfort called exam. That time when he was actually scrolling, he was watching reels, he was feeling some kind of a comfort. But the exam day actually came, and that day his anxiety increased. Not only anxiety, he started feeling very guilty about himself, and he also felt regret after giving the paper, right? So, escaping responsibility can give you some momentary comfort, but it will leave you uh, full of guilt. It will make you anxious. It will make you regretful. So it's not going to, that's not called peace, isn't it? But during the time when you are avoiding your duty, you may feel some kind of comfort. Oh, this is nice. Don't mistake comfort for peace, right? Comfort is escapism many a times. That's not peace. On the other hand, there was another student who knew he also was fearful about the exam. It was a tough exam, but still he sincerely put his efforts, prepared for the examination. He appeared for the exam, and he also got his results. The results might not have been perfect as per his expectations, but he at least had the inner satisfaction that I have done my best, I have done my duty. This is peace. Escapism is not peace. Many a times people think spiritual life means you escape all work, go to Himalayas, and you sit there and do something, do some meditation. That is spiritual life. Many a times people think like that. But Krishna did not endorse this kind of an idea. When Arjuna said, better for me, I think, is to beg than to fight on the battlefield, Krishna did not say, okay, okay, you go retire to Himalayas. I will fight this war on your behalf. No, Krishna did not say that. In fact, Krishna said, you have to act because you are a Kshatriya and it is your duty to fight. So, uh, in life, one important thing we should remember, avoidance can give you temporary comfort, but responsibility gives you lasting peace. Right? Now, Lord Krishna talks about reasons why Arjuna should not run away from the battlefield. One of the main reasons he says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krit. Arjuna, you are thinking that by not fighting, by not doing your duty, you can be happy and peaceful. But actually, since your mind body system has been trained to be a warrior, even if you go to Himalayas and you sit there for so called meditation, even there you cannot get out of your warrior mood. There also you will start thinking how to fight. In fact, this really happened. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna had advised Arjuna to, to please Lord Shiva and get Pashupatastra. So Arjuna goes to the forest as a mendicant, as a rishi. He goes there to do tapasya to please Lord Shiva. But did he go there without his weapon, his Gandiva bow? No. Even there he went with his bow. And in fact, he picked quarrel with a hunter, a Kirata, in the forest. And later on realized that that hunter was none other than Lord Shiva who had come to test Arjuna. So even though he went for so-called tapasya, because he was Kshatriya, he was a warrior, he was impelled to fight even in the Tapobhumi, even in the forest where he went to do tapasya. He was forced to fight, which means to say we should not artificially try to suppress our uh, our uh, our inclinations to think and act in a certain way. That is the first basic step or basic principle of karma yoga. Don't stop action just because it is giving you some discomfort, just because it is full of challenges. Go ahead and do whatever you can. Put your efforts sincerely. So that's the point. Moving on to the second point, work itself becomes meaningful when it is done as a service, not just for personal gain. Now, yesterday we were talking about this famous verse of the second chapter, Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So I was telling that we have a right to perform our duties, but we have no say over the outcome. So the question might come, outcome or results is the driving factor for me in my life to do any work. Then Bhagavad Gita is saying that don't be worried about the outcome. Then what should be my motivating factor? Why should I work at all? Isn't it? This is one of the questions that we might come across. Because most of the people in this world, all of us, we have this uh, desire to achieve some result, and that desire to achieve that result becomes a motivating factor for us to even work, even to put endeavors. But Krishna is saying, don't worry about the results. You have no say on the results. Then what should be my motivating factor? So here, Lord Krishna introduces a very important concept in Karma Yoga called as Yajna. Lord Krishna says, Yajnarthat karmanaha. You have to do your duty as a sacrifice. Yajna means sacrifice. And in the Vedas, it is mentioned, Yajno vai Vishnuhu. Yajna is another name of Lord Vishnu. That means the Bhagavad Gita is telling us that do your work as an offering to Lord Vishnu, and that's called Yajna. Then your work becomes meaningful. Do your work for the satisfaction of God. Now, that is a grander purpose in life rather than simply working for personal gain, right? Then we become very self centric. If we are working only for personal gain, we become selfish. Oh, I don't care about others. I don't care about the society. I just want to enjoy. I just want these fruits for myself. Therefore, I am working. Now, this kind of a self-centric attitude is never, it is never ever encouraged in the Bhagavad Gita. In fact, Lord Krishna says, Yajna, do your work as a offering of love to the Almighty. Right? In fact, Lord Krishna talks about a yajna cycle, the cycle of yajna in this chapter. Right? He says, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavaha. Yajnad bhavati parjanyaha yajna karma samudbhavaha. Lord Krishna talks about this. He says, all living beings subsist on anna, food. And food is coming because of rains. And rains are a result of performance of yajna. If everybody perform their duties properly, that is called yajna, that pleases the Supreme Lord, and there will be prosperity in the earth, and this is called as yajna, and yajna is born out of performance of one's prescribed duties. Yajna karma samudbhavaha. So therefore, Lord Krishna says, do your work as a service to the Almighty, as a sacrifice, not for just personal gains. In fact, Lord Krishna says, those who work hard only to enjoy the fruits of their actions, they are called kripanas. Kripana means misers or narrow-minded people, right? So the opposite of the word kripana is brahmana. Who is a brahmana? Brahmana has got nothing to do with hereditary caste system. Brahma janati iti brahmana. That is the definition of the word brahmana. One who is conversant with the knowledge of the superior truth. He or she is called as a brahmana. So we are supposed to become enlightened beings, rising above our personal gains and losses. That is the quality of a brahmana. But if we work only for our own personal benefit, then we are called kripana, misers. So we should not be misers. We should be broad minded. We should be enlightened. And we should work because we are part of a bigger system. And I have received so many things from the society. And if I don't do my work, I'm not paying back to the society. So I have to do my work as a service. So this is the point, right? Now, the third and the last point for today, your actions influence others. So lead by example, Krishna says. Another important reason why you should do your duty. Why? Because whatever your whatever actions you're performing, there are others who are watching you. Each one of us is an influencer at our own level, isn't it? Suppose there is a homemaker, a housewife. She is also doing certain activities, and her activities are going to influence her family members, her children, her neighbors. So she is also influencer to that degree. Or you're working in a company and you have a team of employees reporting to you. You are the reporting manager. Your actions, your decisions are influencing those team of people reporting to you. And believe it or not, each one of us is a leader at our own level. So Krishna says, Yadyadacharati Shreshtaha Tattadevetaro Janaha Sayat Pramanam Kurute Lokastad Anuvartate. So whatever the Shreshthas, the leaders, the influencers do, others will emulate them. Others will try to follow in their footsteps. Therefore, you must act properly, at least to set a right example for others. You have to lead by example. So, Krishna here is giving another perspective of why we should act properly, why we should do our duty, right? We should do our duty because you can be an inspiring factor for somebody. You have to lead by example. One very nice example that I was thinking about in this connection. Suppose you have a group of friends in the school. Okay, let's take a school situation, school or college. A group of friends. Now, one of the friends in that group, if he starts cheating during the exam and he talks casually about it with the other friends, so what happens is slowly he starts seeding the idea in all his other friends in the circle that cheating in exam is okay. That means he is influencing others that it's okay if you cheat once in a while in the exam, it's okay. You will get good marks. So that's okay, like that. Suppose there is another friend in the same or in another friend circle, there is another friend who says, no, 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 cheating is not correct. So we need to work hard and study and prepare well for the exam. We should not indulge in cheating, and he practices it by himself, and he need not have to give lectures to his friends about it. Just by his behavior of not cheating, he influences his friends that we need to follow certain values. We should not try to achieve success through shortcuts, isn't it? So example is better than precept, they say. I may give a big lecture to you about why we should not steal or why we should always be truthful. That may have some influence. But if we actually see somebody in our life and who are actually living by those principles, that is a greater degree of inspiration and influence that we can create. Our life itself should be a message to others. You don't have to open your mouth and preach to others. If you are by seeing you, if somebody is able to learn good values, get inspired to follow right principles in life, that itself is such a great thing, isn't it? We always keep saying, right? System is corrupt, system is bad. There should be some change in the system, in political situation or in educational field. We always keep saying the system is wrong, system is bad. But each one of us, being influenced by the Gita principles, if we can lead our life based on these principles, we can bring about small change in the society, isn't it? Instead of waiting for the system to change, why don't we ourselves become the change? Isn't it? So that is what Lord Krishna is saying. In fact, Lord Krishna says also in this chapter, he says, I am the Supreme Lord, and for me, there is no prescribed duty at all. It is me who prescribes duties to everybody. But even I perform my duties to set the right example for others. This is what Lord Krishna says. In fact, Lord Krishna says that I come to this world to establish dharma, to protect the devotees who are on the path of dharma, and to annihilate the miscreants who are on the path of adharma. And for this, I come again and again. This Lord Krishna says in the next chapter, fourth chapter. So he says, I have come and I am performing some duties, even though I am free from all these karma chakra. Even then, I am performing my duties to set the right example. And in this chapter, Lord Krishna also gives the example of a great king, Maharaj Janaka. We all know Janak Maharaj. He was the father of Mother Sita in the Ramayana. And he is given as an example for a karma yogi by Lord Krishna in this chapter. He says, Janaka, even though he was so enlightened, he was very detached, but still he perfectly executed the duties of a king. And in this way, he has set the example of how to be a karma yogi. So Janaka did not perform his duties as a king because he wanted some popularity, name and fame, because he wanted to show to everybody how great a king he is. No, that was not his intention at all. Actually, he was very, very detached. He was always absorbed in philosophical discussions. In fact, he is called as a Rajarshi, a rishi among the Rajas, a saintly king he was. He was as good as a sage sitting on the throne, right? He was totally detached, but still he executed his duties as a king because he did this as an offering to the Supreme Lord and also to set the right example for the coming generations to follow. So these are the principles of Karma Yoga. So we need to act properly, right? So we saw the 3 points today. Just to recap: first, running away from responsibility will not give us peace. We must do our actions properly, our duty properly. Secondly, work becomes meaningful when it is done as a service to the Almighty, not just for personal gain. And thirdly, every action of ours can influence, can inspire someone. Therefore, let us act mindfully, do our duties consciously, so that we can lead by example. So, in this way, Krishna is showing us a higher purpose in life. Purpose in life is not simply to work and get some fruits and enjoy the fruits. Then you're a miser. You have to work because you have responsibility towards the society. You have to work because there are people looking up to you to follow you as an example. So, in this way, our work becomes a worship when we follow these principles of Karma Yoga. Now, for us to act consciously, for us to do our duty properly, mindfully, we need wisdom, right? And that is what Krishna is going to talk about in the next chapter. So, tomorrow we are going to talk about transcendental knowledge, about what is the right jnana yoga. We are going to talk about that. And in order to get enlightenment, we need to connect with the divine. And as I mentioned yesterday, the easiest way to always stay connected with the divine is through the process of chanting the holy names. I now request you to please join me for a minute of mantra meditation, after which we will be having Q&A. So first we chant the invocation prayer. So we will chant this together. Please chant along with me. It is displayed on the screen. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Now we will chant, repeat the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 10 times together. And we need to chant the mantra audibly and hear each word of the mantra attentively. Lock your attention to the spiritual sound of this Mahamantra. Let's do it together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you so much. Please do chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, at least for 108 times. That is the recommendation of all the scriptures and the spiritual professors, the acharyas who have recommended us from the scriptures. The easiest way in this Kali Yuga to attain control over our mind, thoughts, and emotions, to get out of wrong habits and addictions, is through the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I request you all to please chant every day. 108 times takes about 7.5, 8 minutes. So please do it. It's a great investment on yourself. So tomorrow we are going to talk about the next chapter, the fourth chapter. It's called Impact of Perfect Knowledge. To act properly, you need the right knowledge and wisdom. That is jnana. So tomorrow we're going to discuss about what constitutes this jnana and how do we acquire this jnana, this knowledge, and what is the result of acquiring this knowledge and acting as per this perfect knowledge. We will talk about it tomorrow. So now we are open. Okay, we have some announcements uh, by Kautuk, and after that we will have Q&A. Over to Kautuk.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for clearly explaining the essence of Karma Yoga and how we can work responsibly without being enslaved by the results. So I have few announcements to make. The first one, every day from morning 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., we have mantra meditation session. So similarly, how we chanted 11 times now with Prabhu, you can join us between any time between 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to chant at least one round 108 times. So please join us and chant. Tomorrow, what is a special occasion? Anybody knows what is tomorrow? It's being displayed in the slides. So tomorrow is Ekadasi Vrata, and it's recommended for everyone to observe Ekadasi Vrat for spiritual advancement. So please observe Ekadasi Vrata. Prabhu, would you like to explain how to correctly observe the Ekadasi Vrat?
Okay. Ekadashi, um, it means the 11th day. So there are two fortnights in a month. So two Ekadashis come in a month. It is recommended in the scriptures that on the day of Ekadashi, one abstain from food and drink, at least abstain from grains, right? Which is our comfort food, right? We always look for comfort food every day. If we are from North India, we want dal roti, that's our comfort food. South Indians want rice, rasam, rice samba, that's our comfort food. But once in 15 days, get out of your comfort zone. So try to reduce your bodily demands. Uh, you can take fruits, you can take milk, and the main purpose of Ekadashi is to, we say upavas, right? Upavas. Vas means to stay, upavas means to stay closer to the divine. So Ekadashi Upavas means to come closer to the Lord, to stay closer to the Lord. So on this Ekadashi day, we reduce our bodily activities, but we increase our spiritual activities like visiting temple or chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra more and more. It is highly recommended. And or reading scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and rendering some service. So these are the activities that are recommended to be done. on the day of Ekadashi for spiritual advancement. So over to Kautuk.
Thank you, Prabhu. So I hope everyone now understand how to observe Ekadasi Vrata. So please do observe. It's tomorrow, Thursday, 29th January 2026. So please, like, whatever you can do. Also, this Friday, we have our Six Hastakam series, the next leg of Six Hastakam series, three ornaments. What are these three ornaments? These are humility, tolerance, and respect. So please join us at 6:30 p.m. on the first floor of TMC Hall. So to get to better know about what are these three ornaments. Tomorrow we'll continue our journey with deeper insights from chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, themed impact of perfect knowledge. So please join us again at 8:45 p.m. Now I'll open the floor for Q&A. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat window or raise your hand to speak. So questions, please. So Prabhu, Ram Reddy asked, what is responsibility versus duty? We have many responsibilities, taking care of our parents and knowing some skills which are useful for us. How can we depend mostly on God?
Okay. Now, suppose you are a student. Your duty is to be focused on your academics, right? Now, what are the responsibilities of a student? Yes, he or she has to attend classes regularly without missing, prepare well for the examination, study well. If you have doubts, you go to the teacher and clarify your doubts. These are all parts of responsibilities of a student. But since we also play different roles, we we simultaneously have to execute several other responsibilities also, isn't it? If you're a student, you're not that you're just only the student. You are also having certain responsibilities at home as a son or a daughter of somebody. Towards your parents, you have certain responsibilities. You have responsibilities towards the society, your responsibilities towards the country. So, responsibilities depend on your role that you're playing. Since each one of us play different roles, we have several responsibilities to execute, isn't it? But we need to execute these responsibilities not for personal gain, as we discussed today. Oh, because I want to become well known. Okay, that may be a impetus for somebody to perform his duties better, but Lord Krishna says that's not first class duty. That's not the way you execute your duty. So responsibility, sorry, that's not the way you execute your responsibilities. You need to execute your responsibility as a matter of duty. So duty is a higher principle based on which you need to execute your responsibilities. For example, suppose our mother, let's say mother at home, she's a homemaker, let's say. Even during the warmest months of the year, during the summer months of May, April, May, she has to stand for half an hour, 1 hour in front of the fire, in front of the stove, and she has to cook for everybody, isn't it? Now she cannot say, other months of the year, I will do my responsibility. I will fulfill my responsibility of cooking food and serving my family. But during the summer month, it is very difficult, intolerable heat. I cannot stand and cook like that. So then she is doing not, she's not executing her responsibilities as duty. She is more concerned about her own comforts. Correct, no? So comforts are not the deciding factor. So whether it is comfortable or uncomfortable, a a mother has to cook for her children. Why? Because of two reasons. One, She has a duty towards her children. The children are dependent on her for food. There is no other option. She has to cook. But duty can be performed better if there is love. Since she naturally loves her children, she does not mind enduring that heat of the summer, standing in front of the stove, cooking for her children because she loves her children. So, what the Bhagavad Gita slowly unfolds, after Karma Yoga is the basic first step. You have to do your work as a matter of duty towards God, towards the society, towards other people in the society. But still higher than that is do work for the love of God, right? You love God, therefore, He has given me this human form of life. God has given me this human form of life. God has given me these abilities. He has given me such a fit and fine body, such intellect, such good mind. So let me utilize all this for the pleasure of God because I love God. So how do we know how to love God? For that you need to know who is God and who are you, what is your relationship with God. So therefore first step is Karma Yoga, then Jnana Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means loving God. Karma Yoga means doing your work as a matter of duty. Right? Jnana Yoga means acquiring knowledge, knowing more about myself and the goal of life, knowing about God. And when this knowledge culminates in love, that's the perfection. That's called bhakti. So, what is the second part of his question? There was something he had asked. Can you please read out?
He asked, how can we depend mostly on God?
Yeah. So, how to depend on God? So, depending on God, generally people say, I will do my work, whichever work I like, I will do, and I will depend on God for the results. While doing the work, one is not at all conscious of God. Only when it comes to results, one starts thinking that, oh, I should depend on God. No, that's not the way. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that even while executing your duty, while putting your endeavors, be conscious of God. Be conscious of your relationship with God. Be conscious that I am able to think, execute, and plan because of God's empowerment. God has given me this intelligence. God has given me this knowledge. So even your work becomes worship in that way. It's not that you do, while doing your work, you're not at all conscious of God. Only when you're expecting the results, you start thinking about God. That's not the way. So depending on God means in every stage of your work, be conscious of God and seek His help. And the best way to depend on God is to follow the plan of God. And what is the plan of God that He has revealed in the Bhagavad Gita? We must make some minor changes in our life, in our approach towards life, based on the wisdom that Lord Krishna is giving in the Bhagavad Gita. And that's the first step towards depending on God. You cannot depend on God unless you have developed relationship with Him. And to develop relationship with Him, first you need to agree to follow what He is saying for our good in the Bhagavad Gita. So first you understand what Krishna is telling. You try to apply it based on taking guidance from those who are already applying it. And in this way, develop relationship with God. For example, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a way to develop relationship with God. And the more you develop relationship with God, the more you will also learn how to depend on Him. Right? Depending on God doesn't mean you don't do your work. That's not what Krishna told Arjuna, right? Krishna did not tell Arjuna, okay, I will fight, you go and sit in the Himalayas. No. Krishna said, you do your work, but while doing your work, be conscious of me. Mam anusmara yudhyacha. How conscious we are while we are executing different activities in our life. That shows our relationship and dependence on God. Hope that answers your question. It might not have made complete sense at this point of time, but these are some inputs. Gradually, as we go through different chapters of Bhagavad Gita, this idea will become more concrete. Okay, is there any other question anybody has?
Anybody has any other question?
You can either type or you can unmute yourself and speak out your question, your doubt. Would anybody like to share? We finished 3 sessions as of now. Would anybody like to share uh, what did you feel about these 3 sessions? What are your inputs? I would like to hear from some of you so that I know how you are perceiving these sessions. Anyone would like to share, please? No one wants to share.
You can share just one point, just one key point which you like the most or you learned so
Yeah,
far.
yes, that is also fine. One point which struck you, thought-provoking point. Anything if you have. We'll feel very happy and encouraged if you share. Okay, let me call out the names. Maybe somebody can share. Can we have uh, Manoranjan? Manoranjan, is he here? Can you unmute yourself if it is possible? Okay, Dr. Neelakant, would you like to share something? Am I audible?
Uh, yes, Prabhu, you're audible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Actually,
yes.
actually, I joined in the halfway through only.
Okay,
But
no
I
problem.
want to share my experiences with because I have attended the regular course in Tamil, and I was doing regular chanting of at least 8 malas daily. And on Ekadasi days, I chant 16 times in spite of my routine work and all. I feel very
Very nice.
blessed and energized when I do that. That's my personal experience. Only I can share now. And I slowly developed to do my duties without any attachment to it. Okay, I'll do my duties perfectly. And whenever I write a prescription, also when I sign it, I say to myself, Krishna Arpanam, and then I give to the patients.
Very nice.
So by that way, I feel very blessed, and that is how I practice in my daily duties. I do Krishna Arpanam, and then whatever I eat, even I drink water, I try to say. Sometimes I forget, but most of the times when I eat coffee or tea, also I'll say Krishna Arpanam, and then I'll drink. This is my experience, and this is what I am following. Small things towards. The self consciousness, self realizations. That is my sharing of few humble thoughts.
Very
Thank
nice.
you for giving me the
Very
opportunity,
nice. Yeah, thank you
Prabhuji.
so much for sharing. I thought you're a PhD doctor, so now I got to know you're a medical doctor. Where do you practice, Dr. Neelakant? Are you in Bangalore?
No, sir, I'm basically from Chennai, but now I
Okay,
got promoted as professor of psychiatry, and then I'm practicing. I'm just posted at Tanjavur Medical College, Tanjavur. You
okay.
know that place, Tanjavur.
Yes, 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 very much. Very nice, very
I'm
happy to know that. Uh,
yes.
so, very happy to know how you are, when you write prescriptions for your doctors, for your patients, you are conscious of the Supreme Doctor, Krishna. So, very
Yes,
nice.
sir.
May the Lord bless you. May the
I
Lord bless
used
you with
to see many psychological aspects also in that the time itself, how anger comes like that, how delusion forms, all are very scientifically explained in Bhagavad Gita. So I kind of feel blessed that at least at this age, and now I am 56. I'm going to retire in another 3 years. But still, at least at this time, I attended all your sessions also. That 108 Ashtotras and then the Abad
Hmm.
Vishnu. And it is very enlightening, I should say. You are very clear and to the point, and then enlightening us with this. So, pranams to you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. So thank you for
Thank you.
sharing, Dr. Neelakant.
Hare Krishna.
So please keep in touch with us, and we'll be very happy to uh, be in touch with you.
Sure, Prabhuji, sure.
So yeah, thank you. So is there anyone else who has a question or any point to make, or shall we close the session for the day? Okay, looks like there are no more questions or inputs.
Oh,
So
so
yes, Kautuk.
yeah, so you can speak, Prabhu.
Hmm?
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead, Prabhu. Speak.
No, I thought so. There's no more questions. So we will meet tomorrow and discuss about the impact of positive or impact of perfect knowledge from the chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. So I would like to repeat myself once again before closing. Request you to kindly take out about 8 minutes a day and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. It's going to be the most powerful input that you will give to your mind body system and to the soul, and which will empower you very much and keep you always positive and spiritually enlightened. So please do this. And there are students in the IISc campus who are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra every day. They are meeting online. Some of them come offline and meet and chant, as Kautuk was talking about it. So you can also join them so that it becomes a habit for you to chant the Hare Krishna mantra every day. So we'll discuss more tomorrow in the next session. Thank you so much for patiently listening and being part of this session. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So with this, we'll wind up the session. I hope everyone has gained some meaningful insights, some takeaway points. So thank you all for joining us today. Please do continue this journey and join us again tomorrow at 8:45 p.m. Hare Krishna.